Well, the players have had a break now and they're coming back on for what is always deemed to be the championship quarter. Who can stand up? Can one team take the ascendancy, and will one drop away? As we can see, we talked at length when we had our spell there. We're just wondering which way it will go. Have Rocherlea spent their petrol tickets, or have they got a lot in reserve? Similarly, for Deloraine, who were down, they came back hard. Can they keep the ball rolling?
Well, the question is, have they found their kicking boots? Deloraine obviously 4-13 at half-time.
Yes, well, we're going to be very, very interested now as Rocherlea pick up that ball. They haven't lost any intensity as Cassidy tried to break his way out. And here they go again. They've come inside the 50 for another movement. It's Larby gets that ball across. Lovely defensive smother there as by the Rocherlea boys. Oh, here's a big opportunity. Arch in the back, going forward, and there is our mystery man who has slipped that one through. And the Roos are up and about to go.
Yeah, listen, they've hit the front. Been a while since they've been in front, Hoppy, since early in the first quarter. Sees Deloraine, 5 goals, 13-43. Now lead the Rocherlea Tigers, 5-7-37.
Well, that man there, I reckon he reminded me of Boomer Harvey. So with no disrespect, we got know who you are, young man. So we're going to call him Boomer. Boomer picks the ball up, arched his back and slotted it through for a sausage roll, and the Roos are up and about. And
doesn't the great Brent Harvey love a goal as well?
Oh, he'll celebrate all right. So that certainly put the cat among the pigeons as the big men go up, and that gets you excited at the footy, when you see good football like that within the first couple of minutes. As here goes Harvey again, trying to keep that ball in. But it's Rocherlea. Have a look at the numbers around the ball. Those Roos are really hunting in packs now. Yeah,
she's going to be a tough game here, Hoppy, in the last half. And seems to me that it started off with the frantic pace that it did from the first bounce in the first quarter. So pretty amazing.
Okay, now, so it is the Roos. I think that might be Lindsay who has that ball. Lindsay, a long kick. Down she goes. Oh, that's a classy mark there by Miar. He gets that ball out. That's courage, isn't it? When you can jump from the back, that's a magnificent jump from the back, but sliding across like that in front, that's where it takes your courage. Big chance for Rocherlea. Good defensive work there by Marcus Lee, going back and fighting pretty hard. But it's Rocherlea. They decide to slip that one over the shoulder. It's going back towards the goal. And I think Holton has marked it. Holton has come back in and kicked the easiest of goals. How did he get so much space? It doesn't matter, but that's drawn another goal back to the Tigers, and we have got a seesawing battle here at the Rocherlea Oval.
I'm going to take credit for that one, Hoppy. I reckon Daniel Motlop probably drew 2 opponents to the contest there, and for some unknown reason, Holton, who's actually been a very dangerous player all day, was left inside 50 with probably 20 metres of space and kicked truly. So that sees Rocherlea 6-7-43, even pegging with Deloraine 5-13-43.
Brilliant work there, as now that was Cassidy who tried to get that ball out, but it comes up to Miar. He drives that ball forward. It's Maynard who's out in front now. He's going to slip back on the left foot, but beautiful smother there. Oh, the 1%ers wearing the number 11 Guernsey is Crowden, and didn't allow Maynard to kick that ball in. Ball comes back out here. It's Miar who tries to get that tap out. It's Cameron getting the handball across. They're teaming it up. He gets the old give and go through Coombe. Tries another handball further afield, but a little bit of scrappy play on that outer side. No one can get clean possession. So the umpire's just going to throw it back. And let's see if he's taken your advice, Is he going to come in the metre? Well, this man here, he's going to back his strength to throw that ball in. And I tell you what, that's not a bad bit of throw work there by our boundary umpire as the Roos pick the ball up. Nowhere to go. That's good mark there. Just showing a fair amount of courage, wasn't it? That's Lyndon Stubbs.
Yeah, it was fantastic. 2-on-1 there and held his ground, and great mark.
Certainly was. As they go back in over the back, I can see something opening up for Holton. This man must have perspired immensely in the first quarter, dripping it, and he must smell because no one is going near him.
Correct. That sees Rocherlea a 1-point lead now, 6-8-44 to Deloraine's 5-13-43.
Lovely kick out, didn't quite get the conversation working, and it comes back into the very dangerous hands of Motlop, and he gets it in, and Josh Holton is on fire here in the third quarter.
He's a dangerous type of player, isn't he, Hoppy? He seems to present really well, can hold a mark, and his kicking isn't too bad either. That was just a wonderful piece of play by Daniel Motlop.
That's a very, very good mark under extreme pressure by Mansell, who did everything to spoil that one. But Holton came out and took the mark in front of his face. We know he can kick a set shot one. He did it in the first quarter. He went back from 50. He's gone out from 25, and he never looked like missing that one. What a very, very efficient kicking style for goal.
Absolutely, Hoppy. Sees Rocherlea 7-8-50, now 7 points in front of Deloraine, 5-13-43. Isn't it great to see Motlop not only kicking a goal or two, but also looking to engage with his teammates? He's
engaging, and he was creating as well. As Rocherlea have found something, and going down there was young Cassidy. No free kick, was deemed to be a fair bump. We know that this man Donahue won't give it away, and he's fighting very hard across that hard forward line. The one thing is interesting in sometimes in the old footy we go is just momentum swings and shifts. All of a sudden one team look like they're on fire, one team gets a goal and they get another one, they build momentum and confidence, and they just go with it.
Yeah, looking at the way the game's gone so far, Hoppy, you nearly predict that this probably will go to the wire. Deloraine's inaccuracy early has certainly hurt them. But they've managed to creep back into the game, and Rocherlea there for a period of time looked like they were down and out on their feet in the deep into the second quarter, and they're back out in front by a 7-point margin.
They certainly were, and the R gets a big tap out now as an opportunity to pick that ball up. I think that was Woolcote. Can't quite what's happened here. I think he was pushed on the ball, but he got his boot to it. I think it might be, is it a free kick here? I just can't quite get what the umpire is going.
I think they're having an issue with whether it was out of bounds on the full or the actual player was over the line before he kicked the ball.
And this is sensible umpiring. Let's get everyone involved here. So we make the correct decision. And it has been deemed that I think that ball was it out of bounds on the full? I think it must have been.
Yep, certainly looks like it. Yep.
Well, if you've got 6 pair of eyes, there we go. Let's get the correct result.
That was fantastic.
I think there's a blood rule here, bit of claret on the hooter. So he's got to come off. We'll get the replacement player. Of course, we have to wait till that player is replaced.
Great effort by the umpires there, Hoppy. That was fantastic.
As he blows, there certainly was blow time on. And if there's someone to be pumped up, why wouldn't we pump them up? The umpire, that was a terrific mark, the 2 big men. And it was Uganis who takes that mark. Got in front, and very solid frame and a good pair of hands and a very ordinary kick.
Certainly was.
As Bannister chips in and he runs on, he's just driving it long, hoping that someone's going to take that mark. When you're a forward, you want to get that ball in quick, and it's not really great entry as Motlop's on the side. Oh, it's touched on the line. He kicked that one. That was a bit of magic. There we go. And I think it was Mansell who just, have a look at this again. We see him pick the ball up. He's kicked it. It was going to go through for a sausage and just touched.
Hoppy, I'd be calling for the video there if it was available. I really would.
Wow.
That was a Daniel Motlop special.
It was the Daniel Motlop special point.
Rocherlea 7-9-51. Deloraine 5-13-43.
And that was Kuhn who got hold of that ball. Comes out underneath the tower of which we are on. And it's going to be a boundary throw in. Now the club rooms here we go. Aren't they a magnificent facility? Any ground in Tasmania.
Yeah, listen, probably when I walked in last night, Hoppy, to have a look at the facilities, outside Aurora Stadium, without doubt the best club rooms in Tasmania.
Yes, so it is a really good facility here at Rocherlea, so we thank them very much for their hospitality here today in the Indigenous round of the J. Bogan Son NTFA division clash between the Rocherlea Tigers and the Deloraine Roos.
You'll notice too, Hoppy, on the ground there's a WorkSafe logo there just behind the play. This is the match of the round for the WorkSafe, who get behind all levels of Tasmanian football.
That's fantastic. Thank you for that. We go as Daly picks the ball up. I thought he was free, but desperation shown by the Roos. They just sort of put the arms out and clutched him back. Fighting very hard, given a bit of leniency and some time to dispose of the ball correctly. It comes now back to that half-back flank as Crawford tried to just push that ball out. They're almost tackled without the ball was Maynard. He's at the bottom of the pack. Umpire has decided that no one's going to get that ball out, so he's going to do the throw up here. And as we can see, it's about 60 metres out from goal. Up they go, and I tell you what, that was a very, very nice tap out by Ryan, the vice-captain here for the Tigers, but to no avail because he was over the top and in the back and leading out, taking a very nice mark out in front. It's hard to do when you're under extreme pressure like that, and it was Larby. Larby gets it back in towards the centre, decided not to go down the corridor, to roll the dice and get it through that central corridor position. It could be costly because Rocherlea have got that ball. They get it down towards Holton, who we know is a very creative forward. Oh, fighting very hard. They have the numbers here, and they just decide to clear that ball out wide. And a very nice mark taken by Morgan. Morgan now goes onto his trusted right boot, right down towards that outer side. I think there's been a push in play, and the free kick now will go towards Larby. Larby goes to short kick just over the top, and very nice mark there by the Roos. Go the short kick. They're inside 50 again. That's a nice spoil by Richards, who comes out, and we know he's a no-fuss sort of defender. He'll just keep punching that ball. There's been a bit of something behind play, I think, because I pumped Richards' tyres up. He might have held a little bit too long in the tackle. There we go.
Yeah, interesting, Hoppy. This is only the second time this quarter the Deloraine have gone inside 50, and we're 10 minutes into the third quarter, so interesting signs emerging.
They certainly are, as Donaghy there. He goes the short kick, but he's put a bit too much petrol on it. And backing back and taking a good defensive mark.
My man Oates. My man Oates. He's been fantastic. Rocket Gibraltar at centre back.
How would you have your BOG at this stage? There's a number of good players in contention at this stage.
Yeah, both sides have been fantastic. Obviously, acting coach Lyndon Stubbs has been great. Plenty of drive out of the midfield for Rocherlea. Oates has been wonderful down back. Holton's been a live wire for a big fella up forward inside 50. And for Deloraine, obviously, Rory Mansell's having a fantastic contest down back with Holton. Donahue, your man.
Yeah, I've liked the way he's gone about it.
And
so
listen,
far.
I've really enjoyed watching the two Sudanese guys going in the ruck and stuff. They haven't changed all day. And they've had a really good impact in the game as well.
They certainly have. So now that ball comes inside the 50, and it was Maynard who was at the back position, tried to move his man out, trying to just create some space. As just fighting hard, that was a little bit too high. It was Gale, who's quite stout, and he stayed on his feet. And I think that ball might have been deemed a little bit too high. I'm just waiting for umpire to confirm that. He said he's been given the free kick. That's the way I sort of called it early on.
You're right. He's a goal. As I said, he's obviously a previous statewide player and stuff, and captain of Rocherlea, so leads by example and puts his head over the ball.
As just there, and it's that last kick and letting him down there as Rory Mansell in the last line defence picks it up. Oh, a little bit of Gaelic football there. We go, just got a little short chip to himself as he's tried to run that ball out. Holton didn't have anyone else on, so he's just decided to put that ball back into the forward arc, as yet again Mansell was very creative across that back line. Oates spreads the ball back out wide to Richards, who knows he's going to run with the ball. He takes a bounce as he taps it on. He's gone a long way now, and in fact he's run far too far, and I think he's going back to his teammates. But what about giving me something, somewhere to go, for God's sake, man? Anyway, now it's Donahue picks that ball up. They've got the space. But have a look at that. He's gotten the big punch on the first occasion. And he said, hey, on a minute, I might be able to grab the Dukes on the second time.
Jeez, he's a good player. He is a good player. Let me down with that kick there, Hoppy. But, he's really solid down there.
He certainly is, as Oates was terrific down there. Comes back towards Coombe. Coombe drives it forward. Going back in for the big spoil is Stubbs. Comes out front and said, I think that might have been Harvey. He can't pick that ball up. Now it's running towards the boundary line. It's very, very close, trying to fight hard to keep it in. And it's just gone over, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
Our man Oates again there, obviously dragging the Deloraine player over the line for the boundary throw-in. And quick update of the score sees Rocherlea 7-9-51, Deloraine 5-13-43.
Okay, so can they make something of this forward thrust? They're all over this one, are the Tigers. They had plenty of people back there, and they are good enough to bring that ball out The man in front, he's got enormous pressure on him now, and it's through weight of numbers as Kalali picks that ball up. He gets it back out towards Morgan. He decides to go out toward the fat side of the ground to the leading player there in Gleeson. But we know Gleeson is under enormous pressure because the big shadow that is Oates is coming up. Oh, what happened there? We go. As I had my head down, I think that might have been Maynard.
There was a barrel inside 50, and have a look at this.
Up he goes, and gee, had the big chance. I don't know if the hands were down first. He was deemed to be in the back.
Geez, the umpires haven't played this rhyme too well today, have they, Hoppy?
No, certainly not. That was a very, very nice leap, but just couldn't get the Dukes to clamp onto that one, unfortunately. So close, but yet so far as the Roos are all over this one. They're trying really hard to maintain that ball within their 50. They'd let a goal here.
Absolutely. We've seen Motlop and Maynard fly for a couple of beauties there today, Hoppy, and the umpires haven't stuck to the script.
Certainly haven't. It was Eugenis leading out there, and it's gone very, very close to that line. And in fact, I think it might have slipped over and be on the full here. We go.
Yeah, just a quick stat for you, Hoppy. Rocherlea have been inside 50 10 times for 2 goals, 2 since half-time. And Deloraine have been in 7 times for 1 goal only.
Well, there you go. It is that last kick, isn't it? They've really just bombed it in.
Absolutely. Yeah, obviously they went into half-time with some momentum, Deloraine, with the scores being dead level, which is fantastic. But Rocherlea is sort of nearly 50% scoring opportunities every time they go inside 50, whereas Deloraine have just had that one shot. So at this stage, Rocherlea on top, but not a big margin in this game at all.
Very, very efficient forward thrusts. Is now working pretty hard is James. He's good enough to stay on his feet, but he was under enormous pressure there from Etchell, and that's the way it's been all day. As soon as someone is putting their body on the line, there's always someone there who wants that ball, and a little bit of temper coming out now. It's been a pretty fierce game, but played in very, very good spirit, we go.
Yeah, absolutely, Hoppy. Frantic pace all day. I just can't believe neither side's given an inch, and it'll certainly go down the wire, but let's hope there's no silly play behind the scenes, because it's been a wonderful, spirited game.
Certainly has. So who has used the majority of their petrol tanks? Well, we just have to hang on. We are in the third quarter. It is the Division 1 round of the J. Bogenson NTFA game. The Rocherlea Tigers versus the Deloraine Roos, and the Roos are 43. The Tigers 51 as the Roos yet again driving that one in. There we go, and it comes to low. They just have got to take their time and set up better inside their 50.
Yeah, they don't seem to have any structure up forward, unfortunately. It's sort of long bomb down the line or straight down the line, and whereas Rocherlea seem to have a bit of a system in place there.
They certainly do, and the other thing I'd try and suggest, with no disrespect to Gleeson, but if he's on Oates, you'd want to be getting the ball away from Oates. Yeah,
I just think that perhaps he needs to be a decoy for Deloraine now and sort of drag his opponent out of the play, and they need to be probably more long and direct.
Yeah, I'd like to see him bring him up the ground a bit, and then when that ball gets in that vicinity, switch it quickly and try and get it down to some more creative players like Donahue, who's been very, very good down inside the 50, and also that man there, Harvey. Look at him fighting really, really hard as he tries to pull that ball in. He didn't want to get it, let that ball out. As the big men go, they don't want to give each other an inch. That was terrific. Picking it up at pace was Etchell, but the Roos were awake up to that as they're holding that ball in. Comes out towards the back, getting the hands very much nice and high as McLennan tries to pick it up. But it's Bannister who mops up, gets it down towards Motlop. He can't quite take the man, and Marcus Lee is playing him pretty well. Comes out towards Maynard, gets the little one in. Not that the numbers here. Oh, creative. Just sold the dummy. Oh, no, Wigo. He's done a Malcolm Blight.
Mate, that's almost
He's walked in here to an open goal. Let's have another Captain Cook at this as Miar picks it up. Brilliant work there. Here the goals. I look here, just put it on, and I've missed it.
That is almost Football Legends material, and I'll make sure that the great man Duff TV has that sent in the next week or two.
Oh, that was outrageous.
That's disappointing. Tight game. Chances like that, you've got to take them, and I'm sure Lyndon Stubbs at three-quarter time will remind Andre, kick through the ball and get the job done.
And it's not like he's a small stat you can hide, Wigo. He stands out like the proverbial, the big man.
He certainly does. That sees Rocherlea 7 goals, 10, 52. 9 points in front of Deloraine, who are 5, 13, 43.
Okay, so Rocherlea take possession of the ball across that half-back flank. They drive it out now. Can he redeem himself? There was Miar. He's up and about because he's trying to put on a block now, but they've got the numbers. Fighting pretty hard is Kirkle. He's been good down back for them. They're fighting really hard. It's on down there, and the umpire reckons it's not going to come out. The only way it will happen is if I ball it up to disperse some of the boys around the ball.
Just creeped into the 20-minute mark of the third quarter, Hoppy. The premiership quarter, so a big 7 or 8 minutes.
Certainly is. Can someone hang on, or can someone really put their foot on the accelerator? As it's been a very, very good match. Great standard also in the TFA we go.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic game, 3rd versus 5th here, and first time I've seen TFA footy for a while, Hobby. So yeah, it's a great standard and played in great spirits.
Certainly is. Good, tough footy. As that was Uganis getting it forward. Oh, almost took a mark there. Was Blackwell, couldn't do so. Didn't have anyone down front, so Richards, he really burst out of the blocks as he tries to get it to Miar. But right on the side, where there was Woodward, he picked it up, but the boundary line was a little bit too close for him on that particular occasion. And so it will be the throw-in. Right on the wing there on the outer side.
Can I ask you a question, Hoppy? Observation, the two Sudanese guys have rucked all day. What are your thoughts on the rotations and interchange policies?
Oh, get rid of it.
I agree.
You know, if I had someone like a Ablett or a Judd in my team, they wouldn't be going off, mate. They just the old-fashioned slide them down to the forward pocket.
Don't have a spell in the pocket.
Don't have a spell in the pocket. What do you reckon a defender's going to do then? Oh. I reckon he's going to change his underwear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
he's going to say, I don't want this man on me. Just have a spell down there. That's what I'd be doing. Not so much of those rotations if you've got a valuable player. Here's a big chance. That was more creative, out into the open space, but just overcooked the kick on that particular occasion. Blackwell made a really good kick out or lead out there. But I think it's Richards who was really fleet of foot, picking that one up, going down to the big full forward, leading out. It's Maynard who comes out, gives a bit of the old don't argue, but couldn't get through. The boundary line was too close. What about this play? Here we go.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. Obviously, Blackwell led and present very well. It was a poor kick by the Deloraine player inside 50, who Blackwell actually had some space, which is really disappointing. So they've got inside 50 10 times this quarter, Deloraine, for only 1 goal. It's a telling sign, and it's not. I'm sure Rory Mansell will address that at the three-quarter time break.
Very creative backman is Richards. Every time he gets the ball, you sort of get your eye. You want to look at him because you know that something is going to happen. He's one of those sort of players. As a little bit too close to the line was Coon, and I think it will be a boundary throw-in. What's happening here? He's just got a little bit of confusion.
I think he's a little bit upset that the boundary umpire may have been a little bit away from that contest and called it. And
free kick against him. You can't argue. What's the point of arguing there? It was a boundary throwing.
They're not going to change their mind, Hoppy.
Have we not been through this?
No, that's right. He should have just gave the ball back and taken his place on the mark.
Anyway, cost him a kick. So now it's Rocherlea who picked that ball up, and they're driving it back down, but sliding back is Walcombe, taking the mark. Goes back out. If they can get that ball moving on the fat side. It's a dangerous kick, though. And Rocherlea had the numbers there. I think that might have been Delford. Was it Woodward?
Yes.
Yeah, nice work there, but just that last kick. So the Roos just going to bring it out towards the outer side, right underneath the tower. It's predictable footy just at the moment. They're just sort of bombing it in there, and taking a very nice mark is Daly. He's right outside the 50. In it goes again. Motlop's down there, goes up, but in front was Holton. Couldn't quite pick it up. Maynard gets that handball to the dangerous zone. Motlop going back in to try and get to the ball, but he can't do so. Plenty of attention there we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, they bombed it in, and probably Holton should have shepherded Holton or tried to put a block in for him to take the grab, but interesting piece of play. But let's hope that indiscretion by the Deloraine player doesn't come back to haunt him either.
Oh, that's certainly, you wouldn't want to see something like that. That's a great lead and mark. That's a hard thing to do in footy, is lead out and take it in front of your eyes. Yeah. Larby, beautiful work there. Gets it back out towards Blackwell. He tries to move it on quickly. It's Riley. We know. Oh, he's been pulled off the ball. Brilliant work there by Lukey Richards. He's my man so far. I think I very like the cut of his jib, Wiggo.
Yeah, they've got a great backline, haven't they? They've worked really well together. Him and Oates have been fantastic down there. And, geez, Blackwell, probably should have gone back and pinged that instead of being unselfish. And, a tight game like this, Hoppy, only 9 points of difference. Those opportunities could make the difference. And I'd hate to think that it may well do.
Certainly can, as Gleeson just tries to push that ball forward, comes out towards Larby, who we've just commented on about his great work in taking the marks in front of his eyes. The ball is in dispute, it can't go out, and so there's only one result, and that will be the throw-up. Umpire just sort of bringing it in 5 metres or so. The defenders will try and keep it out wide as best they can because it's pretty tough to score from there. It's Bannister at the bottom of the pack, and a slow passage of play here at the moment we go.
Yeah, isn't it great to see the cars around the ground too, Hoppy, on the scoreboard side, we'll call it, and the people are really interested in what's taking place. And there's a heavy contest.
And they'll all get out of the cars, but don't you like it when you do a decent play and you hear the old honk honk?
Absolutely.
Get out and cheer your local heroes here, your Rocherlea Tigers versus your Deloraine Roos as the boundary throw in. The big man trying to go up, and it was Ryan who got that front position. They've got a bit of run now, have the Tigers. They've got a little bit of space. They've got 9 points to the good now as that ball comes inside their 50. It's Maynard. Been pretty creative down there, down forward. He decides that we got to pick it up. He has lost the play here. Oh, he's thrown one, I think, a little bit. There we go, and it's around the neck, and it'll be the Roos to take the recipient of this free kick.
Haven't the umpires been all over it today, Hoppy? Picking up those opportunities that are, cheap shots and stuff, and they've been fantastic.
I think the umpiring have been of the highest order as Eugenus now picks up that ball. He now gets them inside 50, but it only goes as far as Oates. Oates gets it back across to Richards. No one's coming to him, so he decides to take a little bit of time, go back, just steady it, and he finds his man. Now Rocherlea and relieves some pressure as they get it towards the wing. Oh, if you play in front, these opportunities present themselves. As the umpire said, he was holding the man. Big opportunity for Holton. He goes inside 50. We know he's got a good kick on him. Holton just leans back and caresses that ball over the top of the goal umpire and through for a goal. Great work by Joshy Holton.
Outstanding effort by Holton. Deep in the time on now into the third quarter sees Rocherlea 8-10-58 stretch their lead now out to 15 points. Deloraine 5-13-43.
Can that be a winning break? Here we go.
Yeah, well, it seems that they've taken their opportunities, Hoppy, in the third quarter. 16 inside 50s for 3 goals and 3 behinds, whereas Deloraine went inside 50 on 12 occasions just for the one major.